Hi, everybody. Welcome back, or for the first time, to We Believe in Comics Friday Night Workshops at SAW. SAW is a 501c3 nonprofit with online courses. You can see at learn.sawcomics.org. We've got Beth Tremblay's Well on Your Way intensive class coming up in early February. That's a 12-week deep dive into memoir. And next week at Friday Night Comics, we've got Compassionate Character Creation with Lily Harris. Um, and again, that's Beth Tremblay. If you've never studied with her, she's an amazing teacher. That class starts Sunday, February 2nd for 12 weeks. And E. Joy Mayer's Diary Comics is in progress, but still joinable. You can find out more about those classes and more at learn.sawcomics.org. You can also check out our community comics website, Seesaw Comics, where we also post work that we do here in a PDF. I will send a link in chat during this workshop with instructions if you've never done it before. That weekly PDF appearing on Seesaw Comics. SAW survives from tuitions and donations from attendees just like you. If you donated tonight, thank you. It helps pay for the artists and other expenses. You can support us at PayPal or Patreon. I have a little bug that's flying around, drive me nuts. Or consider becoming a sustaining SAW member. Share what you do tonight on social media, hashtag Friday Night Comics and at Comics Workshop. And join us for free anytime in the main hub at Mighty Network, members.sawcomics.org. That's where a lot of stuff, community activity happens. People share work, talk about comics, the challenges, knowledge sharing, and so on. Please no inappropriate speech or imagery tonight. Keep it PG-13. You can draw anything you want. That really applies to when we share at the end. Sometimes we have children in the audience, so keep that in mind. And enjoy, although that always sounds to me like a command. Try to have a good time. Tonight, grounding workshop with Nicole Georges. Am I saying that right, Nicole?
I kind of just want to let you go for it. Yeah, you did a good job.
Okay. All right. And that's it. I'll let you take it away. Can I spotlight you?
Yeah. Hi, everybody from Los Angeles, California, or a little bit outside of Los Angeles. I'm just looking through the gallery to see everybody. Hi, everybody. Nice to see your faces. And I see Laura there, who I know quite well. Let's get serious. So I'm Nicole. I make comics. I make graphic memoir primarily. And my graphic memoir work includes a lot of grief. It includes revisiting traumatic experiences, also joy. But in the process, when I'm opening my curtain so I can see outdoors, in the process of creating these really hard books, I've needed to cultivate a lot of practices to support myself so that I can kind of go into these dark forests of memory and come out not unscathed, but, still in the present, still whole, not coming back a time traveler. So one practice I began, aside from going to loads of therapy, here's an advertisement for therapy, go to therapy. Aside from going to loads of therapy and things, in 2020, I was not driven by the spirit of sourdough bread and sprouting my own onions. In fact, was very hard for me to sit down and put pen to paper. So what I would do, and the night before, was make myself a worksheet, like a template for a worksheet that I would put on my kitchen table. So the next morning I could just sit down and fill out this worksheet. And by fulfilling the commands of previous Nicole, I was actually engaging and getting my pen moving. And some of these things were very grounding because it was easy for me to spin out. And after the 2016 election, it was also really easy for me to spin out and just be like, oh my God, you know, everything's messed up. And how do I fix everything at once? And everything's wrong. You know, how do I do all these things? So what I'm bringing you tonight, chefs, is a platter of worksheet. So we are going to make a template for a worksheet that is called Be With Your Feet. And we're going to do this worksheet together. It involves several drawings. I would like for you to use 2 pieces of paper. If you have physical paper handy, that's always my preference. If you must draw on a device or if it's an accessibility issue, I free you to do whatever feels best. But my personal preference, if it's available to you, is the physical realm. There's something I like about the tactileness, and it doesn't have to be nice paper, but I would actually really like if you did this on a piece of physical paper. Then one of the things, if you like it, then you could like post it by your desk later, you know, so you could see it again. Or even if it's in a drawer, you could come across it in a drawer in a week and be like, oh yeah, thanks, former self. Okay, what else do I want to say? I see some people running around grabbing paper. Oh my God, I actually made myself a lot more notes. Sorry, just one more second of notes. We're at a particular time in history, and in January, we're going to be in another particular time in history. And so I just want to give you, if you're open to it, a tool that you could use to ground yourself, because it's not going to help yourself or anyone else for you to stay in a spun out place of despair. It's not going to help you enjoy your life. It's not going to help you be a resource for other people. And so what we're trying to do is to hold on to the reality we're in today and practice building what gives us strength, so that then we can be a resource to other people if we want to. We're building capacity to be present in our lives, be present for ourselves. So then we actually have something to share with other people. And we're not just kind of empty wells being like, here, let me help you. And people are like, no, thanks. Or like, here, let me be the leader of this organization. And everyone's like, God, really? You seem a little fried. So I'm hoping that maybe if we like can start with some grounding exercises, we can go from there and you can build capacity however feels best for you. But it's just, you know, kind of part of it is being with yourself. So I'm not looking at the chat because it gets too distracting for me, and I'll do nothing else but look at the chat. So if anything happens, if there's a fire or something, I trust that Michael will let me know.
I'm keeping my eye on it and just typing little summaries of what you say.
Wonderful. Well, Michael, if there's a fire or something, let me know.
I will.
Somebody needs me to do mouth to mouth, dog CPR, mouth to snout. You'll let me know. Okay, so everybody, you're going to have 2 pieces of paper, pardonnez-moi. And the first piece of paper, you're going to divide like this. Ignore the bottom part. The first piece of paper, so you see the top and bottom have 2 panels, and then there's just a little belt down the middle. You don't need this extra space at the bottom. That's a charade. So here's your piece of paper. There are 4 panels, but there's like a little belt in the middle. You want to call that a 5th panel, you can. But will you put these lines on the paper now? And I'll give you just a second to do that. While you're doing that, I'll tell you, I also teach graphic memoir workshops. You can find me on Instagram, follow me there. I'll always post about them there. And I do long and short graphic memoir workshops for different levels. So if you're new, if you're not new, I do all of that. And I also do individual mentorships and comics coaching and editing, which is fun for me to do.
I put your contact information into chat right now.
Glorious. Yeah, everyone can find me through Instagram. And if you ever sign up for my mailing list, just trust I don't have the capacity to email you more than twice a year. So you never need to worry about getting too many emails from me. You actually can worry about getting way less emails than you would like. You're like, I emailed her 2 months ago. And I'm like, oh God, I hate emails. Okay. We have our boxes. In your first box, I want you to look around. I want you to draw what you can see right now. I want you to do a little portrait of your surroundings, whatever's in front of you, even if it's so ugly. Even if you're like, no, it's all my boxes of Christmas ornaments. That's okay. I want to see it. Let's just spend, let's see, about 3 minutes. I'll set a timer.
Is that one thing that's right around you, Nicole, or as many as you can fit in 3 minutes?
Many as you, I want you to do a full portrait of your surroundings in whatever you can in 3 minutes. In the top left box. Oops. Maybe I will turn on music. So in this box, well, now you have about 2 minutes, 46 seconds. You have about a little less than a minute left. Just whatever you can fit in there. Even if you need to get a little unrealistic, you're like, there's a candle too far to the left, cram it in there. It's okay, nothing will catch on fire here. Twenty seconds left. We've got 5 seconds left. Great. Underneath this panel and that little belt you made in the middle of your page, I want you to write down anything that you can hear or smell right now. So over here in this kind of little belt in the middle is where I want you to write down anything you can hear or smell right now. If you're lucky enough to be tasting something, go ahead and write that down there too. We'll just spend a couple minutes writing down anything you can hear or smell. It could be your refrigerator running, your dog's breath, anything. And I'm just going to write it. If you want to do little sketches, sure, but we just have a couple minutes. Can you taste anything? And then can you feel anything else? I can kind of feel the coolness of my desk on the bottom of my arm. I can feel the coolness of my office chair supporting me. About 30 seconds left. 15 seconds left. Anything else? Okay. In this top right, close your eyes for 1 second. Just take a deep breath, check in with yourself. How emotionally are you feeling right now? You have to get out the feelings wheel in your mind. How are you feeling right now? In the top right, I want you to take 3 minutes and draw a self-portrait where you are showing us how you feel. So that could be you just using acting, using your facial expression or your body language, like, I'm feeling forlorn, or feeling triumphant. I want you to use whatever's available to you. You don't have to draw yourself as a human. If you are like, I need to draw myself as a blob because that's how I feel, I support you, but you do need to spend the entire 3 minutes with your pen moving. So, draw that blob, but it's gonna have to be a lot of background in there if you're a blob. You know what I mean? So we have 3 minutes in this top right panel. Do a self-portrait of how you're feeling right now. And I think it would be helpful for you to say how you're feeling. You can put that feeling in a banner. You could be speaking it out of your mouth. But we'll just take 3 minutes. And again, you don't have to be a human if you don't want to. We do need to draw for the full 3 minutes. So if you're so speedy, we'll just have to find some creative ways to shade. And I'll turn this jamming music back. You can put a lot of feelings in there if you want. You don't have to choose just one. Good God. All right, we'll finish up. Give you 10 seconds to finish up. Put the date at the bottom of this or somewhere here. Put the date on here. I think it's 2024. Don't quote me on that. Okay. Whenever you're ready, let's go down to the bottom left panel. All right, we're going to go to the bottom left panel. Will you draw in the very middle? Okay, look, this is going to be hard. We're going to get through it together. Watch it. Hold on. Watch the sizes I'm doing right now. I'm doing this circle that's like this. And then right in the middle of the circle, I'm going to draw like a teeny weeny little pictogram that's supposed to be me. And that might have to have less detail, but it has to be so small because you're going to need time. You're going to need space around the rest of it. Okay. So in this bottom left panel, you have a circle, medium-sized circle, the tiniest little pictogram of yourself. No one else actually needs to understand it's you. Just draw it as small as you can. It would have behooved me to use a smaller brush size, but why would I do that? Okay. So we're just setting this one up. Okay, so teeny weeny pictogram of you in the middle. You know it's you. No one else needs to know. This circle, and then all this space, free and clear. Okay, this one is helpful in times of chaos. I want you to think, we're going to make two lists. One list is what's in your control today, and one list is what's out of your control today. And you can start either direction you want. I'm going to start with, I kind of want to start with what's out of my control today, because that might help put it in perspective. The things that are out of your control are going to go in this exterior part. What's in your control is going to go inside that circle with you. So what's out of my control today? And I'll spend, I set my alarm for, I'm going to say like, let's do like a minute and a half of each. See how that goes for us. Out of my control today is like the weather, other people's opinions. I mean, it could be things you wish were in your control, but they just aren't. And of course, you can be more specific about political things on yours if you want to. Whenever you're ready, let's get inside that circle. What's in your control today? What is actually in your powers? And put it inside of here. Like how I show up for my friends. Supporting mutual aid funds. What's actually in your control? We've got 10 seconds left for that. Anything else you want to add to that? And then the bottom right-hand box, whenever you're ready, I want you to, this is going to be a visual gratitude list. I want you to draw 1 to 3 people who love you or who you're grateful for in your life. Hopefully these are reciprocal relationships. 1 to 3 people who love you and anything else you want to draw that you're grateful for. I challenge you to draw things or people who you didn't ask for. Things that you're like, oh, but I didn't work hard for that thing. I just have it. Great. The sun went up today and it wasn't on your to-do list. Just draw. You have 3 minutes in this box to draw as many people or things that you are grateful for as possible. The bottom right-hand box. But I would start with drawing 1 to 3 people who you feel right now really, this is your little gratitude list. This is like, okay, what do I actually have right now? Like, oh, I have a friend visiting. Draw my friend. I think that this person also has a mustache. How are you going to tell the difference? I don't know. I'm also wearing a hat. How are you going to tell these people apart? All right, you have 2 more minutes. Keep drawing. I can see you. Drawing your gratitude list. Are you grateful that you have a home? Do you have teeth? Are they in pain or not in pain? If you got teeth, there's the first one for you. If there's literally anyone you love, even if it's somebody who just inspires you, who you love, write it down. Oh, I'm so glad I get to be alive at the same time as so-and-so. It'd take like another 2 minutes for this one. Just cram as many in as you can. Mm-hmm. I'm really glad to have feet. All right. 30, 40 more seconds just to fill this in. Anything else you are thinking about? I mean, really get granular. I could make you do this gratitude exercise for like 2 straight hours and we would still have more things to put in there. I heard someone say once, if I can't be grateful for the things I have, then like, what's the point of anything? Like, why am I looking for all these other things that I want if I can't even be grateful for what's here right now? And I was like, touche. Touche. All right. Anything else? Oh, Laura, I'm going to write the retreat zine in here to represent all of you. A bunch of my students went on a retreat. I made a comic about it. You can message Laura in the chat after this to find out more about it. But like, what a sweet thing. Okay. We did it. Now you're going to a new piece of paper. Oh my God, I cannot wait to see your visual gratitude list, honestly. All right, next piece of paper. This is a classic. We're going with the hits. Okay. Take another piece of paper. I'm going to force you to use the whole piece of paper. I want you to think about some gigantic creature. I want you to draw yourself being held by a gigantic creature. I generally choose something furry like a Totoro or a giant version of a dog. I have also drawn myself being cradled in the trunk of a giant elephant. If you need to draw yourself as a baby elephant, you can. Whatever representation of you want to draw. But on this piece of paper, I want you to draw yourself being comforted and held by a giant creature. And we will spend about 4 minutes on that drawing. And then we will spend another 2 minutes filling in the background. You're welcome to do it all at once, but I'm going to check in with you in 4 minutes. The background, like where are you? You are going to be somewhere where you're very safe. What is that to you? Is that the forest to you? Is that, your grandparents' house? Is that your bed? You're being held by a giant creature lovingly. And your surroundings are someplace that feels very, very, very safe. It is very, very safe. That just is the facts. So I'm going to.
And we're filling the entire page, right, Nicole?
You are filling the entire page. And your pen has to be moving the whole time. So if you are like, I just drew 2 stick people, I'm done. I'm like, sorry, man. You got to draw some more stuff in there. I don't know what to tell you. That stick man better have like a really tightly patterned sweater because we got 6 minutes. Okay. And again, you can be represented as any creature you want. You can draw yourself as a human, but you can draw yourself as anything that feels correct to you. You're always welcome to copy my drawings. I really don't care if you do. I mean, I care. I'm happy to share them, but I'm not. I would never get bent about that if you want to draw along with me. I didn't make up bears. We have about 2.5 minutes left for this drawing. will you leave a little space in there for a speech bubble? Just pre-planning. Just a little space somewhere. If you don't have space, it's okay. We'll just use another piece of paper. Who cares? We're free, you know. I mean, on a blanket too. Hmm. I have about a minute left for your drawing. If you can leave space for a speech balloon, do. And if you don't, it's okay. You can do it on another piece of paper. Whenever you're ready, I want you to have your animal telling you one thing you really need to hear today. Whenever you're ready, I want you to draw. I mean, I would like to write the words first and then do the speech balloon around it for space purposes, but you're going to write, this animal is going to be telling you one thing you need to hear today. And you don't have to show us. It can be anything you need to hear. Or you could write it and then put a post-it note over it if you really feel like you want to show us your animal, but you feel private. It's okay. What is one thing you need to hear today, or you wish somebody would tell you today? This creature does want the best for you. And if you ran out of space, just draw the creature's face on the next page with them saying it. Because this is our final page, but if you ran out of space, you're welcome to use another page. To have their little face telling you the thing you need to hear. Adding any other details you need to your little safe space. You can come to this little space anytime you need it. You can draw yourself into it any way you want. You can add anyone you want. I want you to keep drawing for a couple minutes. I'm just going to talk at you as you're filling in any final details you want to on this drawing to make it the way you want it. The last things I want to tell you are, you could do some variation of this worksheet every day if you wanted to. And you are allowed to share it with other people. If you like this worksheet, you want to share it with friends or family or people at work, or you're a librarian and you want to print these out, do whatever you want. Open source. I want this tool to be available and accessible to other people. So go wild. This also works, you know, sometimes like I started this this thing with drawing myself being held by a giant animal. At some point, I was going through a hard time, and all I wanted was to be held, and I couldn't for whatever reason at that time. And I was so jealous of that little kid from Totoro that gets to lay on top of the giant Totoro in the forest. And I was like, darn it. How come she gets to do that? And I was like, Nicole, you're an artist. You could draw it. And I was like, what? Because I've monetized my art. So I forgot that it actually has a purpose and a function beyond selling comic books. I was like, you mean I could have, speaking to myself, I could have an emotional experience on the page with myself with absolutely no capitalist end game attached to it? Zutalar. And so I spent an hour drawing myself as a tiny person being held by a giant Totoro. And it felt really nice. It felt really nourishing. And it only was an hour, but it was an hour I wouldn't have otherwise had, where I got to have that feeling of being held in that way. And I just want to encourage you, especially if you get flooded, if you're feeling freaked, or you're waking up and you're like, I would love to doom scroll. Is there literally anything else I could do in the morning? May I suggest this practice of drawing yourself in the situation you want to be in, or just checking in with yourself. What's actually in my control today? Maybe anything else I can hand over to one of these giant animals, and they'll just take care of it for the day. And I can do the things that are actually in my power and in my control. Like, I, Nicole, can't produce world peace today. So this bear can hold on to that for me. And I'll just do the little action steps that I know are available. Let me think. I have one or two other tiny things to say before we share. If there's somebody you miss, whether alive or otherwise, you can always draw yourselves together. And they're always available. You could always draw yourself saying something to them that you wish you could say. And you can always draw them saying something back to you that you need to hear. And you can choose whether or not to share that with other people. I just really encourage you to kind of extract your drawings from the idea that they need to be shown or sellable. I want you to just have an experience on the page with yourself, and then you can make all those choices later. The last thing I want to tell you is if you go to my Instagram, I have an illustration series called Anonymous Fuzzball. When I was working on a really hard graphic memoir about my dog dying, I was going to tons of therapy because I was in so much grief. And every day, my drawing warm up before I sat down to draw something hard was I drew an animal I always wanted to draw that I didn't have another opportunity to draw, another excuse to draw them. I drew an animal I always wanted to draw, and I drew them saying one thing I heard that day that was really helpful that I wanted to remember. And so I have this whole series of drawings. You can go look at them. And I'm putting out a book of them in a couple years. I'm working on it now. And I have a calendar of them. And they're just all saying, they're called emotional support animals. And they're all saying something that at some point I needed to hear, or that really resonated with me. And I encourage you to draw your own, emotional support animals, your own fuzzballs. If there's ever something you need to hear, you're like, why won't anyone tell me that it's going to be okay? You could just draw an animal saying that to you. And just for that moment, you could have that experience of feeling like they're saying that to you. And it's okay if the animal doesn't look exactly the way you want them to. The more you draw, the more it'll look a way you want, or not. And you'll just get into an acceptance about what your drawings look like. But just know, I love your drawings it's kind of like, let us love you until you can love yourself. Let me love your drawings until you can love your drawings, because I haven't even seen them and I already know I love all your drawings. So now is sharing time, right? I can't remember. So you raise your hand and then I call on you?
Yeah, if people raise their Zoom hands, and usually I just pick them in the order.
Oh, great.
They
Well,
appear. I see Kate first,
let's do it.
and then you'll get a little unmute prompt. So,
I did. Okay. I went a little fast, so it's not a race, but like, what the heck? Let's just do this. All right. So my surroundings seems like a lot of light and desk and so forth. And there's just sounds and cars, emotions, curious and anxious. It's like grateful. I think that's a Saw Workshop kind of classic combo. So, and I have to read this backwards.
Mhm.
It feels like a million years ago I wrote it. The gratitude is my forebears,
Mm.
my grandma and great aunt and my dad. Then loving to draw, inner light. I have a new Christmas cactus, and I can't read this.
You made it through the week.
Yes, that. Okay, so, and this is control and not control.
Mm. Yeah, meteors is such a good one. It really is out of your control.
Entirely, yeah. Okay, so
Wonderful.
animal.
Yeah.
Uh, and the animal, it was funny how this came up because the first thing I really wanted to do was make a really slimy animal, but I like it because I'm slimy too, right?
Oh, I
So,
love that. Is that
see,
intermingling slime? Yeah.
yeah, this is a very, very slimy frog. And then I was like, how am I going to work that out? And I made myself as a snail, enjoying the magic slime.
Wow. Oh my God. I love that intermingling slime on slime.
Yes, and I mean, what really matters is just we make sense to each other. I don't care if anybody else likes slime or not. Like this
Yeah.
is our own little thing. And then what it was gonna say, I think it was like, sense as you are, baby.
Love that. Thank you so much, Kate.
You're welcome.
I see Yesha, but her camera's off, so we'll go to Jennifer and then back to Yesha.
I do see a Jillian. Is it my friend Jillian? Jillian and Laura, you guys better raise your hands.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. I'm not gonna read out the thing because I'm I'm very wordy. I'm a writer, and so there's way too much text. Oh, well, no, maybe it's just the right amount, but there's a lot of text. So I'm just gonna say there's my around me. I misunderstood the first directions.
Okay.
Wasn't really listening. There's my avatar. I'm all the things. Then grateful for. Oh, again, I did a list. It was a pretty long list, but
Mhm.
I also misunderstood it that we're supposed to draw stuff. But I like that idea, and I've been starting to do that in my daily. And then there was my creature, and I just came up with this really old crone from a country that's totally being bombed and erased. And she just has so much love in spite of her uh, all that she's lost. And so she's just being a really great old crone. And she comes in and bashes somebody that I can't name because it's not PG-13 over the head with a frying pan when he's on top of me in bed and I'm a very little girl.
Oh,
And she just does that. And then she tells me, "You are so lovable, Jennifer." So that's it.
Jennifer, I love that. I love her. She's protecting you. You're so loved and protected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for bringing the
Totally.
crone into the space.
Yeah. Yeah. She's my crone for sure.
Your protective crone.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Nicole. This was just really fit in with what happened. What's happening.
I'm so glad.
Really great.
Thanks for sharing, Jennifer. See Yesha next.
Hi. Yeah, thank you, Jennifer, for sharing, and thank you, Nicole, and for making me cry. Um, so let's see.
Unmute.
My desk is just very full of clutter, so there's this picture book. It's called Things That Go Away. And thought that was interesting. And then there's this very aspirational date book that I haven't put anything in yet. And another page, whoops, other side, that I wrote a quote that I heard on a YouTube video, art video recently, and my keys, just like the clutter. And then over here, I'm feeling okay, but lonely and overwhelmed and troubling dreams and not enough sleep. So not super okay, but you know. And then here's this thing here. I can't control what people say or do, what's happening in Palestine. But I can control loving my nieces and putting on lotion, amongst other things. And then these are people and random things that I'm thankful for, from having a home to family and friends in my life, as well as like socks and apples and Mr. Rogers. I mean, the fact that I existed on Earth at the same time as him, and one of my art teachers. And then here is, so this assignment actually reminded me of something that we did in one of our Wednesday evening paloozas, where like there was a similar thing where it's like, imagine yourself as a monster and and another monster taking care of you. I'm badly paraphrasing. So this monster is very similar to the monster that I drew then. And then there's me like just snuggling and like not even showing my face. And then I live in New York, so like outside you can see buildings, and the monster is saying, "You are good. We love you. You got this. And I will help you to be your best, but whatever you do, you are good and we love you." And then there's I love the fact that you said you could always draw yourself with someone. So there's me and my grandfather and Mr. Rogers' portrait. I guess he was a very formative experience in my life as a young child.
I love
And
this
that's
so
it.
much. And just so you know, my scrap paper is I bought a Mr. Rogers page a day calendar so I could read
Oh.
his stuff every day. And then now that the year's over, it's note paper too, so I can look at it. Anyway, I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And like do you have the what do you call, oh yeah, Michael put in the chat, the assignment was the monster we created to protect the child inside us.
Ooh.
And yeah, that was like the best palooza ever. But I wanted to ask, like, do you have these worksheets, like in case we forget or whatever, like the
Some of
prompts
them,
somewhere?
yes, some of them are on my Instagram page, some of them are on my Patreon page. If you root around in there, you'll generally find them. And if there's any particular ones that you don't see on there, you can just DM me.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much for sharing, Isha. I see Carol next, and then Chris, and then Ellen and Mark.
I had fun making a mess, as you can see.
Ooh.
This is what I see, and this thing is on the wall. I call it the guardian of the girls. And then the computer with Zoom. And what I'm feeling is disturbed because I saw somewhere today somebody had posted that Giselle Pilicote had become Time Person of the Year. And I thought, okay, there's hope for humanity. Good. And then I learned otherwise. What I can't control is Time Magazine and who owns all of the entertainment business, otherwise known as the news. And the people that I love, I was very surprised because I put me in the middle, and that really made me happy because I didn't know I was going to do that, along with a whole bunch of other wonderful people. And then I drew myself being held by this giant beaver, and I'm in a beaver dam. I've swum there, and I'm all safe. And the beaver's saying, Kamala 1, you were having a bad dream.
Hmm.
I love that.
Wow.
And that's how I'm feeling today.
Thank you
And
so
what I
much.
wish I could hear. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. I see Chris, then Ellen, then Mark.
Hello, thanks very much. This is what's in front of me right now. It's my dining room table with stuff on it. Um, that's my self-portrait. I feel cautiously relaxed because things are not quite as hectic as they usually are. I can smell pizza and taste coffee, and
Mm,
my wife's watching the Survivor finale in the other room. It's like, people in my life, I have 2 sons and a wife, and I have 2 cats, and one of them has only one eye and half an ear. And I have books, a guitar, and some teeth.
great.
And I'm not in control of what people think of me. That troubles me sometimes. My position at work, that bugs me. The creature that is hugging me is a giant octopus
Ooh,
and is
Wow.
telling me, you are enough. Yeah.
oh, that's so lovely.
Thanks very much. It was really, really, really interesting exercise.
Ah, thank you. Thank you so much for doing it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. See Ellen, then Mark, then Joanne.
Yes, hello. Let me flip my camera around. So I want to focus on the self-portrait. I say that I'm content but nervous it won't last. Craving answers, head empty and yearning, which all seem contradictory but work together. And then it's funny that you did an octopus, Chris, because I also did an octopus wearing a little hat, but a place I feel really safe is Tucson, Arizona. I'm from Arizona and my twin sister lives in Tucson. So I drew all these cacti, which sort of contradicts the octopus a little bit. But the octopus is saying, you are whole as you are, and is holding a little boba for me. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's it.
I love all those elements. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ellen. I see Mark next. Mark.
Oh, hello. These are the right reading glasses. I have all sorts of styles of reading glasses that I got for $1 piece at the corner store that look ridiculous on me when I realize I'm on a camera all of a sudden. So a lot of scribbling here. So there's a bunch of mess around me, and there is some of the mess wedged under the staircase where I am right now. The portrait of myself on the side, I declined to have any adjectives about it. I just hadn't really thought of any. To describe how I was feeling, just sort of sketching it vaguely, trying to get more definite in the sketching, thinking I would decide what I felt like somewhere in the course of that. And I can't say that I quite did. So in the circles, concentric circles thing, or it's only one circle, so it's not concentric. On the outside that I have no control over are who is and isn't dead. I'm thinking about a friend of mine who died a while ago. What will be happening next? The suffering of others, suffering of myself. What I can control inside the circle is whether to blow off worrying about it. And then grateful. Again, with the vagueness, trying to get more definite gradually as I went method, I have my wife and daughter. The animal page. I started off thinking it was King Kong or something, but got more chimpanzee looking, less gorilla looking. Well, King Kong was, well, yeah, it was a gorilla, right? So I'm in the palm of this guy's hand, and he is saying to me, it all counts, the time. You need to hear that, although it is not meant as reassurance.
Oh my God. I love that. Wow. Thank you so much. Like he said something so kind and he's like, but it's not meant as reassurance. Don't worry.
Thanks, Mark. It's good to see you, man. Joanne next.
Yeah, hi. Let's see. Well, I have a really hard time drawing things around me and putting them in perspective. So I was kind of, there's just a lot on my table. So I just was trying to make something coherent out of that. Um, and I was just really tired when I got home today. I just had to lay down for 5 minutes before coming onto the Zoom. So just like sort of this melting feeling of just being so tired and having my little pajama hat on. Not that I wear one, but I love them. And then so what's out of my control is traffic and driving home, people's moods. Even if a friend writes me, I'm really not in control of if they do that. And how loud my neighbor is playing his music. And then what I'm in control of is my attitude was the first thing, how much I eat, my mood, my own curiosity and inspiration. And then be grateful for some friends of mine that I do still have teeth. And I love these little mini chocolate chip muffins. And then I work for a platform called Baobab. So I'm kind of grateful that I have that job, and I'm grateful to Saw. And then I just started.
Oh,
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I just wanted something fuzzy, and it just turned out to be this big kind of bear, sort of in a bear hug. And he says, "You are fine exactly as you are, and then you are loved." So,
I love that.
yeah. So
Oh
thank
my
you.
God.
That was very grounding. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. I mean, I would buy posters of all of these, everybody's animals telling them the things. Oh my God, what a poster book it would be.
thanks for sharing, Joanne. I see Elias and then Sarah.
Hey, you might not be able to see these very well. I find my pencil drawings often don't show up great on the screen.
Well, we can kind of see it.
I'll,
And I think your microphone just shifted, Elias, because
Oh.
your audio got a little low.
Yeah, sorry. So there is my desk. There is me, calm, tired, grateful to be here. One of the things, so somebody at my work put up a collection box collecting some items people need, such as diapers. And so inside the circle, I put giving somebody some diapers, and outside the circle, I put all the complicated reasons that someone doesn't have diapers. Maybe it's not that complicated. I don't know. But diapers aren't free, and making them free is not in my control. And there's my wife and son. And then later I drew a little Buddha. I'm grateful for the Dharma, but please let's not get religious. And here I am, stretched out on the back of a giant fish who is saying, "You are cool."
What's the flying fish saying?
Where are my glasses?
Oh, I see. And then there's also an octopus smoking a bubble pipe.
There's an octopus smoking a pipe. Just you said we had to keep drawing, so And the octopus is also wearing a decaled hat. Anyway.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Elias. We have Sarah next, then Sophia and Judith.
Hello. Hopefully you can see this. This is the first one is in what I'm looking in my desk, basically like at the screen, a lamp. I have a sign on that says "Stay in your lane, Sarah," up here. That I look at every day. It really helps This is a self-portrait and it says, I'm so excited. I feel alive. I had a really positive week, which is unheard of for me. So that was sort of, I was surprised to find that out. And then this in my control and out of my control getting paid to do my orchestra because I run an orchestra. The whether or not people hate me or not, my limitations, and then some things I can control, the music I choose, who I want to spend time with. And then in my great gratitude, I have my two cats, Aggie and Ozzy, my partner Ian, my friend Lola and Catherine, and my home and my country, because I'm from Canada. I've got the Canadian flag. And then hopefully you can see this. This is a polar bear, and I'm on a nice flow with the polar bear, and I have this magic blanket that's keeping me warm. And there's a little French seal. The polar bear says, "You are beautiful and you matter." And the seal is saying, "We, yes." And that's it.
Oh my God. Wait, hold that up one more time. I'm still looking at it.
Oh.
So cute. Thank you so much. Who's in the background?
So this is another polar bear, I guess a relative of
Oh, okay.
my main guy.
Wonderful. Oh, thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Sophia?
You guys can see me, right? Okay. Here's my thing. I'm gonna focus mostly on my creature because I thought
Okay.
it was, I was trying to go for a groundhog, and then like in practice, he came out looking like a little scary, or not quite groundhog-like in the way I intended. So yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. But there's these groundhogs all over the place near me, and I there's I don't know, I like see them all around, and I think they're humorous creatures. There's a community garden, and they're like always stealing the vegetables, which people are annoyed with them for. But all the same, there's something attractive about the groundhogs. So I drew a groundhog, and I'm in the burrow of the groundhog. There's a little light hole where the light is coming through, and it's saying, "I steal vegetables, but I'm still cute." And then that's me, and I'm saying, "Thanks, giant groundhog. Appreciate it."
That's so cute. I love groundhogs. I love their bodies. I know they don't want me to pick them up, but my dream would be just to feel one. Like just get in some of that Puxatawny Phil action of giving him a little hug.
Don't drop them like our previous mayor here in New York City.
Oh no, really?
Oh yeah, he totally killed a groundhog.
That's a huge scandal. Well, thank you for that.
Thanks, Sophia. I see Judith next, and then Meredith and Gail.
Hi. So
Wait, I
can you
think
see me?
I
'Cause
think I
I-
accidentally clicked the wrong thing.
Right, I want to have, okay, yeah, that doesn't look like me. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, sorry, Judith.
Okay.
There you are.
Here we are. Okay, so I'm looking across, actually, I had to, I have my Shabbat candles, and when I was at Value Village in Seattle, I got these two, you had to see them. This is the best thing that ever happened to me as a purchase. So that's my Shabbat candles, and I was very happy to see that. And the way I feel is like a jigsaw puzzle. So I had the picture of me, but it's all pieces. There's so many different pieces. And today I felt pretty put together, but that wasn't, not always. And I very much liked thinking about who I appreciate. So my husband of blessed memory, who died 20 years ago, is very much in my atmosphere. And he's always, I still have to go through his filing cabinets. And whenever I put my hand on a folder, absolutely, there's something in it that is a message to me. It never fails. He was a writer, so it's very useful. And in terms of what we have, what I can control, obviously, I can't control my children's health, whether the hostages will get returned and the war will end, weather, all of that stuff. But I can control whether I do art, whether I avoid sugar and weed, whether I'm good to my friends. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's the basic stuff, you know. So this is the thing. I had a wonderful dog
Wow.
and unfortunately departed the world. However, I drew him holding me and he's saying, don't worry, you are doing what you're supposed to be doing and everything's going to be okay. I kind of heard Bob Marley's song, you know, everything, every little thing is going to be all right. So there we go. This was very fun, very, very sweet and fun. I appreciated it. And I love how much overlap there is. It seems like everybody in the group wants to be told that they're okay, which
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's hard to find that in the world. Somebody to just say like, you're going to be okay. You're okay.
One more thing I wanted to say about being grateful. I have 6 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. And I really am very, very pleased, like very, what's the word you use? Grateful, like beyond grateful, beyond grateful, because they're really interesting people and I like spending time with them. So that's good. Anyway, this was really fun and very positive.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I love seeing that drawing. I love your dog drawing.
Yeah, that was Rocky. I really miss him, but what could you do?
Yeah. It's nice he's still with you.
Thanks, Judith. Meredith and then Gail.
Thanks so much. This was so helpful, and I can tell it's going to continue to be. Just a couple of, I can't see myself. Where, okay. So one thing, just this ended up in the grateful also. This is our little tree in the corner, and but I only just recently, after 4 years of Zoom, figured out how to get my lamp to bounce the light off the wall so that people can see me. After making people squint to see me for a million years, I feel really grateful about that. And then this is my how I am, and I actually thought I recognized kind of a similar shape in your pieces, Judith. Even though I wasn't thinking of them as pieces, I just was thinking of them as clutter in the top of my head inside. So I liked seeing those. And then I added a lot of things to the inside and outside of the bottom left from what others were saying. And one of the ones I had there that's not in my control is how and whether or not people respond things. And then also the way my cells are built in my body and create things that I can and can't do. My big drawing with the creature I did in pencil, so probably isn't very visible, but I started, nope, it's not. Let's see if I actually put more. Nope, that's gonna make it worse. Okay. But it's just shape, it's just a shape and it goes around, and then you can see me just vaguely in the middle there. As soon as I drew the shape, I just didn't want to add anything because it felt like it was just right, just a big sort of wide spiral around the outside of the page. And what it says in the speech bubble is there is no way other than this way. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much. I love that self-portrait. And I can't believe the collective unconscious, like the little kind of threads going between even the order of people right now sharing their work.
Thanks for sharing, Meredith. And I think our last share is Gail.
Right, Gail's our headliner.
Hi there. Okay, let's see. So I drew the things on my desk, my art supplies. I'm feeling pretty good today. I had a good day of classes and I went to knitting crocheting club for the first time. I'm starting to learn to knit, and it just made me feel good. I like learning new things, and I've been wanting to learn how to knit for a while. So that's what I did today. There's a bunch of things out of my control. In my control, things I feel grateful for are various family members cats, my students, my bike commuting buddy, Dan, spending Christmaka in Colorado with my family, Christine and Allison, my art buddies, and an amazing short story written by one of my students. Okay. And then here are my cats. That's me. And my cats are comforting me by letting me lie on them. And they're saying, I know you are afraid next week will be stressful, but it will all work out and then break. Meaning it won't break. It's just then after that is winter break. And then you are allowed to cancel some plans if you're feeling overscheduled.
Mm,
So
wonderful.
this was really fun. Nicole, you are a great teacher. I thought that you did just a great job of giving us understandable and doable prompts and within reasonable timelines. And this was really, really fun. I think everybody came up with amazing stuff. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's so nice to hear. And it's so nice to see that you had both of your cats in there.
Thank you, Gail.
All right, everybody, last call. Any final drawings, Laura? Any final drawings? Anybody that wants to share? You don't have to, but I'm just saying.
Oh, there's Paula.
Paula's up to bat.
Okay. Paula, if you...
Yeah, hi, sorry. Yes. This is the picture of my bag and stuff. And that's me as being a cuddly animal. That's what I'm grateful for and stuff, and the friends and stuff. And another one here. And me cuddling up to a teddy bear, like me there, and then me lying on him, me having a nice bath. Yeah.
I
And
love
fluff.
that.
Wow.
I love that teddy bear drawing.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
So
You're
cool,
welcome.
Paula. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, so I'll just share how I was feeling and then my animal. So I was, for the first 3 panels, I was having a sneezing fit. So for how I was feeling, I drew myself with a giant nose going, oh, I've got this stupid sneezing fit. And then for my animal, I drew a jaguar holding me as a kitten. And the jaguar is saying, you kicked butt today. You are crushing it.
Mm.
I love that. I love that jaguar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for your drawings. And if you were being shy and you want to send them to me on Instagram, you can tag me or DM me. I would love to see them. I may not be able to like write back. I'm having some hand issues, but I will definitely love to see them and happy to reshare them if I can. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. Please use any of these prompts that you want as you go forth with a little grounding time with yourself. I promise we'll feel better than doom scrolling when you wake up in the morning. Most people can't make a promise, but I can promise that.
I just gave everybody the power to unmute. So traditionally, this is when everybody says thank you. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Nicole.
Nicole.
This is great.
Wonderful
Thanks to
all
everybody. And
Thank
thanks
you.
for
Cuddly
sharing.
creatures, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
Thank
Nice to see
you.
your faces.
Yeah.
Scrolling through all your beautiful faces.
Nice to meet your animals, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Your animals. Please
Thank
share all your animals
you.
together somehow, some way.
Thank you.
You are enough.
Thank you.
That was super beautiful. Thank you.
Yay.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good weekend. Have a good night.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Nicole. This
Bye,
was
bye.
really,
Thanks.
Bye,
this was really
everyone.
special and powerful. Thank you so
It
much.
really,
You're
really is.
welcome. Be nice to yourselves this week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Laura.